Hello everyone, my name is Douglas and these are some quick tips for working with Clip Studio Paint. EX or Pro, there's no difference between the versions for the purposes of this tutorial. I'm just gonna be talking about some basics to make sure that you'll work better and work faster and have a much smoother flow when you're working with Clip Studio Paint. So the first tip I would like to give is to flip your canvas constantly. No matter if you're an amateur artist or if you're a very seasoned professional, everyone has to start flipping their canvas. It allows you to see errors you would not normally see if you are working only in one orientation. If you go up here into the View menu and go into Rotate / Invert and go into Flip Horizontal, you can flip your canvas and you can see that my handwriting is completely broken to the side. It is not good and I would not be able to see this error if I did not flip my canvas. So make sure to start going to View, Rotate / Invert and Flip Horizontal to flip your canvas. By the way, this is very different from going into Edit, Rotate / Invert Canvas and Flip Horizontal. This will actually edit your file. It will flip every single canvas, and if you have a very long drawing that you have been working on for quite a long time, this will actually take a lot of processing power of your computer to render this whole flipping of the canvas, and this is an action. So it's a thing you can do and undo with Ctrl Z, for example. Unlike View, Rotate / Invert, Flip Horizontal, which simply goes and changes the visualization of your canvas. So it's much faster to do whenever you need to do it. Another tip I would like to give you is to start using keyboard shortcuts as often as you can. In fact, you guys might think that going up here into View, Rotate / Invert, Flip Horizontal is an incredibly slow way of doing this for a video that is about having a better flow. So what we're gonna do is go to File, all the way down here there's Shortcut Settings. In Shortcut Settings you can set up shortcuts for all sorts of commands and things that you can do in Clip Studio. Up here you can see that in Settings areas we have Main Menu, Pop-up Palette, Options, Tools and Auto Actions. All of these are important, but we're just gonna cover Main Menu and Tools. In Main Menu is the same options you can see up here: File, Edit, Story, Animation, Layer Selection, View, Filter, Window, and Help. If you go here to View in the Shortcut Settings, you can see that we have this category Rotate / Invert, and in this category we have the Flip Horizontal, which is what we need to set up a shortcut to. So double click the right hand side of this line so you can start editing the shortcut. I use H for personal reasons. If you are not used to anything and you don't have any preference but you want to start using this, I suggest H because it's a good enough keyboard shortcut, or you can use F1. Why F1 though? Because F1 already is the default command for opening up the manual. And whenever you accidentally press F1 in mostly any program, it always opens the menu, which also takes the focus away from the program that you're using to do illustrations. It spends some processing power to open up an internet browser or anything, and it takes time away from your work. So by changing the flip canvas shortcut to F1, you're taking out the shortcut that you're never going to use and adding in a shortcut that you're going to be using constantly. So that's my suggestion. You don't have to go and do that if you don't want to. But I would certainly suggest that you start using the flip horizontal command to start flipping your canvas more frequently. Another thing we can do in keyboard shortcuts is that you will see that we have a lot of tools here to the left side of the screen. We have pencil and we have brushes, and then we have pens, and we have a lot of things going on here in the way of tools. We can also set up shortcuts for them. You can go to File, Shortcut Settings, and instead of going to Main Menu, which is these icons all the way up here, we can go to Tools, which are those options here on the left hand side of the screen. We have the Zoom, Gradient, Move, Pen, and on and on and on, all those little tools we have. I would like to suggest that you guys go to Pencil and you add in a shortcut to the pencil category. You can see that you can set up a shortcut for each individual pencil tool that you have, but if you're like me or anybody else who uses Clip Studio, Sci, Photoshop, you're probably gonna have a lot of tools, and not all of them are as useful in every single situation. So I would like to suggest that you use the shortcut for the entire category. So I normally use B for the entire pencil category. You can choose whatever tool shortcut you would like. But if you look closely, you will see that I'm also using the same shortcut for brush, for the brush category. And why is that? Because Clip Studio is a very smart program. If you press B, it will change to the pencils, so I can go and start illustrating whatever. But say, for example, I want to go now to the brushes. If I press B again, it will cycle through every single category I have set up this shortcut to. So now I'm in the brushes category. So now I can use this other brush that I have instead of using my pencil. And then if I press B again, it will cycle back to the pencils category. So by pressing B, I can cycle through categories, and it always remembers the last brush you use. So say, for example, that I choose another different brush here, then I go to the brushes category, and I go back to the pencils, it will remember which one I had chosen. So that is very interesting and very important to have, I like to think at least. Another thing I would like to talk about keyboard shortcut is that we have two versions. We have the key shortcuts, which are these keys that you press and they change the active tool. And there's key modifiers, which is a thing that changes the tool that you're using only temporarily. So for example, if I press space, my brush will turn into a hand, and now this hand, it pans the canvas. So for as long as I'm holding down the space key, it's panning my canvas. If I also throw in Ctrl, so now space and Ctrl, it will be able to zoom in and out by dragging left. Clicking and dragging left, I will zoom out. Clicking and dragging right, I will zoom in into my canvas. So this is very good for you who want to quickly do any sort of detailing into your canvas and then go back to the big picture. And by holding down space and Alt, I can rotate my canvas, which is very delightful. And in fact, it's just the way that traditional artists work. They don't rotate themselves around the tablet when they want to do some trickier kind of line work in their drawings. They rotate the canvas that they are using. It's much more natural and it's much more faster than rotating your whole body rather than just rotating the canvas you're working with. You can set up key modifiers but in this almost the same way. By going to File, down here, below Shortcut Settings, there is Modifier Key Settings. And now here you can see every single key modifier that you have set up or that has already come by default with the program. Not all of these are gonna be there by default, so you're gonna have to do some changing of your own. I would like to suggest that you guys filter down Alt here to set up a keyboard shortcut that is kind of like Photoshop. If you're familiar with Photoshop, you probably know that the Alt key uses the eyedropper. So what we're gonna go and do is filter down by the Alt key, and here in Alt key we have two options. We have the change brush size and change tool temporarily. If you go to change tool temporarily, we can choose any tool we want. And down here there's the eyedropper, and in eyedropper there's the obtain display color and pick up color from layer. Obtain display color, you're gonna pick up the color that is actually being shown on the canvas, and pick up color from layer, you're actually gonna pick the color from the layer that you're currently selected, disconsidering any other layers that might be affecting your drawing, such as a multiply layer, overlay layer, highlight layer. Those won't be taken into account, which is a very good thing. So I would suggest that you guys go and choose whichever one of these you would like to use and change it to your modifier key settings. So there you go. Now we have some keyboard shortcuts and some keyboard modifiers. These are gonna increase your flow of work much faster. By the way, Clip Studio Paint does come with some odd keyboard shortcuts, so you can change those around to your liking. And I do suggest that you do so. Take some time and check out keyboard shortcut by shortcut for each tool and each function you like to use more often than not. Another tip that we have is to rearrange your windows. Every single window in Clip Studio Paint can be rearranged and repositioned however you like. For example, here I have the navigator layer here on top and the layer window on the bottom. The reason why I have these on the right hand side of my screen is because I'm right-handed, which means that most of the time my hand is actually on top of the canvas and I can't see a whole lot of my monitor. So I don't need to be seeing my layers constantly, and I don't need to be seeing my navigator constantly. I have my navigator up here. Even though I don't use navigator a whole lot, I use it because it comes coupled with some very useful buttons. So say for example that you have been panning, zooming and rotating your canvas and you want to go back to the original settings, you can always go down here and click this button that says reset rotate. That's all. You rotate back to 0 degrees. If you have been rotating a whole lot and you don't remember which is the default position, you can always use this to go back quickly, and it's a button that is coupled in the navigator. Down here I have the layers, which I don't need to be seen often, hence why it's on the bottom. Now on the left I have a lot of tools that I use constantly. Even though I'm not choosing tools by hand, I want to see what tool I'm using, so when I use my keyboard shortcuts, I can see which tool I have selected, what opacity I have set up for them, and what tool size I also have set up. And I can see these with or without my hand on top of the screen because it's on the left side and I can quickly and easily see it. If you want to go and rearrange windows, all you gotta do is click on a window and then drag it out or around. So for example, the information layer, I can drag it out, resize it to whichever size I want, and if I want to throw it back into one of these palettes or rather categories, I can simply throw it in there. When it highlights red, it's going to be throwing alongside the layer, for example here, the layer window, so they're going to be in 2 different tabs. I can also move it above it, below it, or in the tab area if I want to organize it behind or ahead of the current tab that I have chosen. And then you can always go through the divisory between 2 windows and rearrange them to make sure that the windows only occupy the size that I really want them to occupy. And why is this useful? Because a lot of time you will want to show only the things that you currently use and use the most, and you won't want to show things that you don't use very often. So for example here on the side there is this default thing that comes with Clip Studio, which is a little palette of useful little things such as textures and 3D models and whatnot. Down here I like to have the palette, the color palette going on and have it here, but not as an actual window occupying space on my screen. I like to have it here on the side so I can close and open whenever I want it. And if you have come up with a workspace setting that you really like, you can always go here on top to Windows, Workspace, and then register your workspace. And then you can always go and swap around workspaces here whenever you want. And why would you have more than one workspace? Because, for example, if you're doing illustration or some other time if you're doing painting, if some other time you're doing lettering, you probably want to have different canvas setups. So it's really important for you to have a workspace saved up there as which is the one that you're going to be using the most. Another useful thing to do is to press the tab key to hide all the palettes and only show up the canvas. If you want to be painting or doing some more focused work where you know you won't be changing tools very often, having your whole palette showing up is more interesting than having all these palettes around and only having a smaller canvas to work with. And one thing you guys will probably notice here is that I don't have my color wheel up, and that is another tip I would like to tell you guys. First and foremost is to use the color swap very often. A thing that I do is I have my color swap not shown by default. I like to have it on a standalone little window, which I can trigger by typing in my custom keyboard shortcut, which is Shift, Ctrl, and Q. It will bring up the color wheel, and then I can choose whichever color I want at any place, and then Ctrl Shift Q, and it's gone. Simple like that. And why is this useful? Because say for example I use the tab key to hide every single palette, I can still summon the color wheel and only it, nothing else. And because it's a little standalone, I can move it around however much I would like, and it stays there. Now another thing that Clip Studio has that is very important, very interesting, and I have not yet seen any other program have, is the transparent color. Every other illustration program, they have the primary color and the secondary color, which you can freely swap between by using the X key on your keyboard, which is a default shortcut. Depending on the program you're using, the shortcut is different. So I can paint with my with my primary color or with my secondary color whenever I want. But Clip Paint Studio has a different tool. It also has the transparent color, which you can trigger by pressing the C key in your keyboard. The C key triggers the transparent color, and unlike the primary and the secondary color where you're adding ink to your drawing, the transparent color is erasing ink from your drawing. And why is this important? Because say for example you're doing some very delicate focused work and you're using a tool. For example, you're inking something and you're using an inking pen to do the inking, and for example you want to refine something here in your drawing. So instead of switching to the eraser, changing up or down the size of the eraser which you want to be using, and then refining it and changing back to your inking pen and remembering how it works, you can simply trigger the transparent color, do the little refinement, the little adjustments you need to do, and then change back to your primary color. And why do I say this? You guys might think, hey, but using the eraser is just as easy. And yes, it is easy in a way. But even on traditional artists, they always do try to avoid switching between their pencils and their erasers as much as possible, because by switching tools, you break your flow and your mind has to readapt to this tool that you currently picked up because it still has a muscle memory of the last tool you were using. So if you can avoid changing tools, you're gonna have a much faster workflow, and those are very important things for you to keep in mind as you work with Clip Studio Paint or do art in general. So this is it. I hope you guys enjoyed these quick tips for working with Clip Studio Paint. This only brushes the surface of what this program can do, because Clip Studio Paint is incredibly deep and powerful. We can do a lot of things, and I don't have the time to go through each and every function. But these are things I think is very important for every young artist to have there, and even experienced artists to have in their minds as they work, because it increases your workflow and it makes it sure that you work faster. And when you're working faster, you become more productive, and by becoming more productive you can allot yourself more time to dedicating yourself to doing the projects you really want to do, or studying more. I don't know, you will have more free time with which you can do literally whatever you want with it. If you liked these quick tips for working with Clip Studio Paint, make sure to leave a like down below, that's so I can know if I'm doing this right or not, and if these tips are actually helpful and useful. If you have your own tips that you would like to share with everybody else, make sure to leave a comment down below. There are many tricks and tips that everybody likes to use that not everybody is privy to. So let's spread the knowledge and make sure that everybody who is using Clip Studio Paint gets to use its full potential. And if you're not yet using Clip Studio Paint, make sure to check it out. It's a very cheap program and it's a very good illustration software.